Alaska. You can hear it from Sitka to Barrow. Gather around for Jeannie's show. It's the Aleut, the Indian and the Eskimo. It's the Aleut, the Indian and the Eskimo.
Hello and welcome to Heartbeat Alaska. Native news, native information, I'm Jeannie Green. Thank you so much for joining us. You have joined a program that takes you to remote areas across the state of Alaska, the only program in America that is weekly native news and native information. We're glad you joined us because today we travel to the icy waters in the Bering Sea to the beautiful village of Savoonga. It's a great show. I'll be back with Savoonga, Alaska right after this.
Hey, it's John Wahi.
Hey there, you are watching Heartbeat Alaska from St. Lawrence Island, Savoonga, Alaska.
Hi.
Heartbeat Alaska is brought to you in part by Coastal Villages Region Fund. Thank you, CVRF, for your support of Heartbeat Alaska. And
by the Nature Conservancy of Alaska, working with Alaska's rural communities to conserve and protect our natural heritage.
Hi, I'm Mark from Scan Home, and we are proud to sponsor Heartbeat Alaska.
Scan Home, serving all of Alaska's home and office furnishing needs. Thank you, Scan Home, for making Heartbeat Alaska possible.
Heartbeat Alaska is brought to you in part by Brown's Electric Lighting Gallery. Thank you, Brown's Electric, for your generous support of Heartbeat Alaska.
We're taking you on a journey today, a fabulous journey to a remote village out in the Bering Sea, to the village of Savoonga, Alaska, where the native people have survived their own unique way. They're Siberian Yup'ik and Inupiat, and they live in a glorious spot on this earth.
They are people of strength. They're people of patience. They are people of pride. They are the people of Siberian Yup'ik and Inupiat descent, a bloodline that goes back to the beginning of time. In the middle of the Bering Sea sits St. Lawrence Island, home to the people of Savoonga. Located on the northwest coast of the island, Savoonga has a population of approximately 650 people and is a native tribe that relies heavily upon a subsistence way of life.
You know, the first impression a lot of people get when they come to Savoonga would be poverty, but these people don't know the meaning of poverty because everything that they ever need in terms of food is out there in the Bering Sea.
Ugruk meat, mucklet, bearded seal.
Good?
Yeah. Delicacy.
Reindeer, birds, fish, seal, and walrus comprise a large part of their diet. But by far the most rewarding for the hunters of St. Lawrence Island is the bowhead whale. This home video from 1994 takes us on an amazing journey through the icy waters of the Bering Sea in search of the bowhead whale, the great whale hunters of Savoonga. It takes a great deal of patience hunting the bowhead whale, a great deal of patience and prayer. While these hunters wait in their umiaks, several others are perched high upon the ice floes, searching the choppy waters of the Bering Sea for the great mammal. Once the bowhead has been spotted, the fleet sets sail. With only the wind at their backs, the hunters quickly close in on their prey, waiting for the right opportunity to strike. Once the first harpoon has struck the great beast, the outboards are started and the chase is on. It is a chase that can last for hours, a battle of wits and endurance. In the Siberian Yup'ik culture, it is believed that the whale will give itself to the deserving hunter, and on this day, that belief would hold true. A prayer is given to the whale, a gesture of respect and appreciation for giving itself to the people of Savoonga so that the cycle of life may continue.
Amen.
Each week, Heartbeat Alaska brings you great stories from all over the state. And we couldn't do it without the generous support of Frontier Flying Service. Frontier gets our camera crews where they need to go. So whenever you see a Frontier plane, give them a wave.
Say hi from Norfolk.
You might just be on Heartbeat Alaska.
Frontier Flying Service, covering Alaska for over 50 years.
Turn it up! Turn it up!
For everything you'll need to build your dream home, Northern Building Supplies has got you covered. Northern Building Supplies even manufactures their own Arctic homes, especially built to handle Alaska's toughest climates. Native owned and operated, Northern Building Supplies specializes in rural Alaska and will get your freight to your village at the most economical rate. So for your next home and all of your building materials, visit Northern Building Supplies, serving the state of Alaska since 1993.
Jeannie Green Productions, Alaska's premier commercial, documentary, and event production team. Whenever and wherever you need video production, our experienced, dedicated professionals give your project the extra edge you're looking for. Alaska Native owned and operated. Jeannie Green Productions, your complete video production service.
people of Savoonga depend upon the sea for their food. They depend upon bowhead whales, but that's a sticky issue these days, a subject that's not real popular amongst the native people. Subsistence is a way of life for native people, yet today's rules and regulations sometimes impede putting food on the table. We'll take a look at how the good people of Savoonga are dealing with these issues.
The people of Savoonga have made a life for themselves in the often challenging climate they live in. What the land they live upon cannot supply, the Bering Sea does provide. Besides the bowhead whale, another main source of food is the walrus. Every year, the hunters of Savoonga load into their boats and weave their way through the shifting ice in search of walrus, which take refuge on the ice floes. Over the past few years, there has been a devastating decline in the numbers of whale and walrus taken by the islanders and coastal communities of Alaska. Many claim this is due to global warming and changing weather patterns. Whatever the reason, it is a situation that is affecting the natives of Alaska, who rely upon the sea for much of their livelihood.
It's our heritage. It's vital, very important to our well-being in terms of culture, social needs, cultural needs, biological needs, spiritual needs, which centers around the bowhead, for thousands of years. And it's very important that we continue to do that.
This year, the winds did not blow in favor of these people, and the large ice fields packed the shores of Savoonga, keeping the hunters from reaching the walrus and whale.
These guys are looking at all these walrus down here. There's quite a bit of walrus down here in the ice all the way down there. That's what they're spotting, and I was asking this captain here that he's seeing all these walrus, wondering if he's going to go out, and another captain's getting ready to go.
But there's no guarantee that these hunters will even be able to reach their prey through the treacherous moving ice that lies ahead.
We had a good start before whaling season. A few boats got out there and caught some walrus, but when the ice closed in, we were closed for quite some time. And ice is finally starting to push out a little bit, and south winds would probably open it up more, and hopefully we're going to have a good season coming up at the end. I hope we've had a hard year harvesting walrus, and hopefully it should pick up pretty soon once the ice is starting to push out.
As if their plates weren't already full dealing with the ice conditions and lack of whale and walrus, the people of Savoonga and other whaling communities throughout the state were delivered another blow recently by the IWC, International Whaling Commission, an entity that oversees and regulates whaling worldwide. In a proposal brought forth by the United States of America and the Russian Federation to extend the current 5-year whaling harvest quota on bowhead whale, Japan saw an opportunity to capitalize and commercialize.
They were trying to get a commercial quota of minke whales added on to our proposal here in the initial stages, but that was shot down really quickly by like-minded countries, 32 countries in support of us. And as you probably know, the United States of America, being an anti-whaling nation, doesn't support any type of commercial whaling. And that was the crutch that the Japanese commissioners were using, or the delegation were using, to try to push their agenda to try to obtain commercial quotas for the minke whales, and it didn't work out for them either.
Displeased with the decision to oppose commercial whaling of the minke whale, Japan decided to oppose subsistence whaling, and in a political move secured similar votes from many of the other countries that make up the International Whaling Commission.
with an amendment to our proposal submitted by our U.S. delegation, Russian Federation, we put a little change in our request with 68 strikes and 14 carryover provision. And the next day, 32 countries supported the request while 11 opposed it. And we were one vote short of a 3/4 majority vote.
It was a topic that was on the tongues of our Native people across the state, a way of life that was being negotiated.
You know, we're just trying to make use of what we have within our own setting. You know, it's sometimes difficult with a situation like the IWC voting down our request for quota. But we've always been able to adapt to certain regulations, certain management schemes, and it's always been to our own advantage when that happens. So we're kind of hoping that even with obstacles and prejudice that we experience with regards to how we use our marine resource, I think our own Yup'ik ways and Yup'ik ways will overcome all these things, and because we need to keep our tradition, our way of life strong for our children and their children's children.
It has taken several trips to the table, but eventually Japan reversed their decision to oppose subsistence whaling and now supports the bowhead quota.
Aviation. It's knowing how to make distances seem shorter. The art of buying you time. The business of bringing people together. And another reason to look up. Era Aviation. This is our sky.
You're late, Dad.
I know.
I'm almost done with my homework.
Yeah?
Tessa's mad at you.
What's she mad at me about?
You said you would play basketball with her. She said she'll never speak to you again.
Parents that are involved with their kids are more likely to help keep their kids away from drugs.
Good. Nothing but that.
Are you traveling to Anchorage for education or health care? The Alaska Family Hospice is your home in the city. Located 1.5 blocks from the Alaska Native Medical Center, Alaska Family Hospice offers fully equipped apartments, housekeeping services, shuttle service, Medicaid payments, grocery shopping service, or cook your own native food right in your apartment.
Well, I've been coming here for the last 3 years, and all the times I come here, it's like a home away from home.
For total comfort, affordability, and safety, come on home to the Alaska Family Hospice, your home in the city. Now it's time to see a lighter side of the people of Savoonga. From the drumming and dancing to the ivory carvings, there are stories to be told by the native people of Savoonga. The people of Savoonga are survivors. They have learned the skills well and are able to prosper in an unforgiving climate. They are the direct descendants of those who knew nothing about grocery stores or air freight, but knew everything about using their hands and surroundings to make a life for themselves on an island in the middle of the Bering Sea.
It's a knowledge that has been passed down from century to century and generation to generation. It takes the commitment of the youth to learn the ways of yesteryear and the commitment of the elders to teach them. Two such people who truly know the meaning of the word commitment are Jimmy and Mabel Toolie. Jimmy, 98 years old, and Mabel, 93, have been married for 78 years and have spent their lives on St. Lawrence Island. With 78 years together, they have seen close to a century of change through their eyes. Jimmy still recalls his early years as a reindeer herder.
I forgot how many years I was a chief hunter. Made for the village.
Skull.
Made for the reindeer, yeah.
Skull bring over there.
Because we got no dogs. Only 20 reindeer sled there. We used to come by reindeer sled, yeah.
Even in their 90s, it's easy to see that the spirit of youth is still strong in Jimmy and Mabel Toolie. They are highly respected in their community as people and as teachers. In fact, Jimmy still goes to the school on a weekly basis to teach the kids drumming. And it would be a rare occasion to have drumming going on in Savoonga and not see Jimmy and Mabel taking part. The people of Savoonga know how to celebrate as well as they survive. This home video from Savoonga shows the combined sport of water skiing and snow machining. The object? Get across the pond to the other side without getting wet. Unfortunately, it doesn't always work that way.
Who is that? Oh, I can't see.
St. Lawrence Island is home for two villages, Savoonga and Gamble, both of which are known internationally for some of the best bird watching anywhere. From this island come some of Alaska's most popular carvers and some of the most beautiful ivory carvings.
I'm thinking of titling it Respect from a Hunter. Our elders tell us about respect for the other animals that we hunt, and so I thought I'd do some artwork about that. I carved a bear at the tip of the tusk right here, and kind of twists up into a walrus, and then a whale, kind of twisted tail right there. And this is going to be a bearded seal. It kind of goes around the waist of the man that I'm going to be carving. And it's going to be stretched out as to where it's lifting an elderly face, and I'll carve up a young man's face right there and kind of make this more of an elderly face where it has a ruff there. And so it's kind of going to show a little, it's going to represent a story of lifting of the soul of an elderly man.
Edwin Noongwook is just one of Savoonga's artists. From the thrill of the hunt to the carving of the tusks, Edwin takes part in a subsistence lifestyle, utilizing all that nature provides.
I go out and hunt the walrus with my family, and we have our own crew where we go out and get some meat, and we take the ivory along with it so that I could carve it. Sometimes we share each other's ivory and meat with other crew members and their families. I'm going to be carving a whale on this side and probably a bear or something else on the other side, and he kind of liked the idea of having it out. And once I get it in there, it's going to be a nice looking tusk. These are male tusks. You can notice by the thickness and the length, and it's an adult male tusk, this one. And you could notice the difference between the female and the male by the thickness. And usually a bull is a lot bigger than female.
For now, the people of Savoonga will continue to hunt the birds and animals that nature has provided, while praying for a south wind to clear their shores.
It seems that no matter what these people are up against, they will overcome, as they have for thousands of years before. For they are the people of St. Lawrence Island, the people of Savoonga.
Thank you, everyone, for joining us for Heartbeat Alaska Native News, Native Information. And please remember that we're going to be looking for your Christmas special soon. Join me again next week, won't you? For Native News and Native Information. I'm Jeannie Green. God bless you. We'll see you then.